Riskiest houses in the world. Treacherous House, Russia. The Treacherous house in Russia makes it clear right away that no housing licenses were issued. Not only does this 13-story building resemble a page from a kid's coloring book, but it also appears to be in very threatening condition. And it was probably not. This mansion was supposed to be the highest wooden house in Russia and was owned by local Russian businessman Nikolai Petrovich Treacherous. It was built entirely out of wood over a 15-year period starting in 1992, and it had 13 stories and stood 144 feet tall. The building was demolished by the city as a fire hazard after Nikolai was convicted of racketeering and sentenced to prison. By December 2008, the tower component was pulled down, and the rest was dismantled early the following year. Cascading, Japan. Because if the height isn't what frightens you, it's the way these tree house owners gave their structures height. Atop the trunks of 2 trees. In Japan, building tree houses is prevalent. The same may be said for tree houses, which frequently appear in unexpected locations. On the other hand, one family was on the next level on a piece of land near Chino, Nagano Prefecture. Designed simply and without frills, this tree home was constructed on 2 extended trunks under the direction of architect Teranobu Fujimori. With a square footage of only 29 feet, it is just big enough to fit 4.5 tatami mats. It's tiny and straightforward, but Teranobu Fujimori prefers it that way. He believes the building is an extension of one's body, like a piece of clothing. Cliff Edge. This $3.9 million residence, which can be found on the Sonoma coast about 2 hours north of San Francisco, is attracting attention. Although its views of the Pacific Ocean and virtually entirely glass facade are probably the reasons, its also position, depending on how you look at it, adds to the allure or peril. The house sits atop a tiny rocky outcrop that extends about 300 feet over the Pacific Ocean. There isn't much that is more tense or breathtaking than that. Richard Clements, an architect, created the home near Jenner, California, in 1964. In addition, Richard was the owner and architect of the nearby Timber Cove Inn. It underwent substantial repairs in 2012 to transform from a 1960s vintage classic to a masterpiece of the current day. It's now fitted with new decks, a new roof, plumbing, wiring, flooring, and a custom hot tub. House in the hillside. The building has been divided into 2 homes that will each be rented out independently. They are surrounded by a sandy beach that is appropriate for families and look out over a lovely bay. Both homes are significant because of their distinctive characteristics and their architectural and historical significance. It's difficult to keep your heart from racing when you first view this property up close. It's constructed perilously into a mountainside after all, and not even the breathtaking views can make you forget that. 5 bedrooms with ensuite bathrooms, a living and dining area, a cellar, and a shower room can all be found in the home's center. A veranda with a pergola is also present in one of the bedrooms. A courtyard with a pergola, a yard with trees, and a ladder down to the ocean all add to the appeal of this beautiful abode. House on Middlesedge Island. Door-to-door salespeople may be really annoying, and simply having your neighbor's audio on all night long might drive you crazy. Therefore, even if buying the house on Middlesedge Island may be a little unsafe, many people may find it to be a very appealing option. A home listed online for $6.5 million in 2015 was sold. It was located in the center of a well-known beach community on its own exclusive small island that could only be reached by boat or helicopter. The property was situated on 14.4 acres of land and had a 4,866 square foot main house and a 1,200 square foot guest house. The home was extremely spectacular in its time. It had a pool and rec room, a wet bar, porch, bocce court, heated pool, and much, much more. However, bankruptcy by the owners was filed in 2016, and after Superstorm Sandy, the property has fallen into a state of disrepair. The island became flooded, the built-in pool was uprooted, and the home was damaged. Today, it probably is quite an unsafe place to live.